morning, Ramona. Good morning, Susan Plunkett. Good morning, Ducky. How are you guys? I'm sharing out to groups right now. Give me a moment, please, just to get this out there. How are you guys doing? I wish I could do this to multiple groups at once. I don't know why Facebook doesn't enable that. It would make it so much quicker. My stomach is bothering me this morning. It's really weird. I think this coffee might be too acidic for my stomach. No bueno. So I'm just going to wait for the room to fill up a little bit more as I share. Please share this out, like the video wherever you're watching it from. If you're on Facebook, hit the thumbs up sign or give it a love sign. If you're in YouTube, give that a like or a thumbs up sign, please. I would greatly appreciate it. Every like helps Angel get its wings. Yeah, I put on an orange shirt today because I wanted to feel energized. It's really gray here. It's I woke up to the sound of soft rain. Actually, the music that I have playing in the background has raindrops happening in it too, which is really nice. I love waking up to the sound of rain, but it's sort of gray and overcast today. I kind of hope it rains all day. We'll see. I love it when it rains like this, but it's sort of gray and meh. Let's hear it for meh. Sending prayers of luck. Ramona says she has a job interview today. So excited, you need this. Good. Stay excited, Ramona. Stay in a high vibration when you go in. Good morning, Karen. How are you? Stay in a high vibration and kind of come from a place of not that you need this, but they need you. Remember that you have assets to give to them, right? There's certain things about you individually that make you ideal and perfect for their needs, and hold that in your space as you walk into that interview. Not with like a air of being braggadocious or full of yourself, but just being like, I can be an asset to this company. I can help here. They could benefit from my presence being here. Just kind of hold those thoughts in your mind as you sit in the interview. Give yourself the credit that you're due, you know? Remember that they need you as bad, if not more so, than you need them, right? Don't come from a place of lack. Come from a place of abundance, right? Try and keep that in your mind during the interview. I know job interviews can be nerve-wracking. That's one thing I have to say, I've always interviewed well in job interviews. I've always landed, like knock on, I don't know, wood or something, but I have always landed every job interview that I've ever gone out for. I mean, it's rare that I don't land a job interview. And I think that's part of it, is I just realized that for me, not that I'm trying to toot my own horn, but beep beep, I just think that I'm an asset to whatever it is. I also don't try and apply for things that I'm not sure I can't do. So I try and keep it real that way too. But I always go in positive minded. I look them directly in the eye. I speak honestly and from a place of authenticity. Always do that and I think that employers love it when one is open to learn, and they show that in the interview. So, because they want to train you, they want to teach you their way of doing things. So as long as you are open to that, I think that employers can feel that authenticity and that excitement and that openness, and that appeals to them. So I don't know if that helps you feel more confident in your interview today, but I wish you all I actually, you know what? I don't wish you luck. You don't need luck. You are fully capable of landing this. I will enjoy the fact when you come back and tell us that you have the job. How does that sound? Does that sound better? Let's act as if it's already happened. I think that would be good. I'm still sharing out to groups. If you guys want to do the same, I would greatly appreciate it. Just give me a moment and we'll get started on the daily forecast and do our breath work. I hope you guys... Oh, couple of housekeeping things. Hey, Divine Doodles by LaDawn. Ah! Hey, Shatana, fierce! You guys, okay, my friend Shatana is here. She is Divine Doodles by LaDawn on YouTube. She's just subscribed to the channel, and I love her. She is a dear friend of mine and has been a longtime client of mine. I've done readings for her for many years now, and she has just found out that I have a YouTube channel, so she has joined us for the morning forecast. And I'm happy to have her here. I believe she's going to join the group. Ducky, you should get to know her. She's a wonderful woman. She is amazing. Ducky's like sort of my little admin, right-hand man, and good friend that helps me keep all of this stuff straight, helps answer any questions anybody has, that sort of a thing. So you two should say hello to one another at some point. Ducky's very positive like you are too, Shatana. So very upbeat. So it's great to see you here. Thank you for tuning in. Bear with me for one moment while I do this sharing out thing. Share out to any groups that you think it would be appropriate, you guys, as far as where it would be allowed, enjoyed, non-offensive to those groups. Hey King A, I see that you want to ask a question. Jamie Taylor, good morning. Good morning. I've said that to Ramona. Good morning, Darlene. Newbie, thank you for loving the wings, Darlene. Welcome. Here's all of my information, Darlene. If you need to join any of the groups, follow my YouTube, follow my Facebook business page, please hit the subscribe and like, hit the bell button so you get notified every time I go live. That always helps so that you don't miss a forecast or a charm reading in the evening. I do charm readings at night on Fridays and Saturday nights. Those are always fun events. Let me not get sidetracked here. I gotta stay paying attention to what I'm doing because I'll end up double posting to a group, which is kind of rude. So we don't want to do that. Oh, I wish my stomach, you know what, I might need to eat something. I had a banana this morning and I think this coffee is too acidic for my stomach with just a banana on it. I need like real food. My stomach feels like it's just not having it this morning. So a couple of housekeeping things as people start to come into the rooms. I've put a new poll up in the Engelgeist group in regards to the deck that we're working with. You guys will notice that. Please use your democratic right to vote. If you are enjoying this new deck, which I think a lot of you are, please feel free to voice your opinions on how long you feel as though we should continue to use this deck. And vote there. A couple other things. I've done 2 new unboxing videos for Kyle Gray's decks, the Angel and Ancestors Oracle deck and the Angel Prayers Oracle deck. I'm going to do a 3rd one today for his Keepers of the Light deck, and that will be all of Kyle Gray's Oracle deck work as it stands right now. I love Kyle Gray. I think he does angel work too on an international scale. He's from Edinburgh, Scotland. He has a channel on YouTube called Kyle Gray, like it's under Kyle Gray UK. He does different types of videos there, spiritual information, that sort of thing. He's very cool. And actually, I'll announce this now. In less than a month, I also think he's super cute. In less than a month, I am getting ready to go meet him and study with him for 5 days in New York. So I have signed up to do that a few weeks ago. So that's one of the surprises that I have coming up. I want to go see what he teaches and how he teaches because I'm interested because he's so angel-centered like me. And I am wanting to learn from him. And hopefully that will be beneficial. I'm excited about that. And I've had his decks for a while since I was in Mexico, and I have not had the opportunity to unbox them yet. So now that they've been unboxed, you will see them in some of my pick-a cards coming up. And I'm excited about that. Let me share it to one more group and we will get started. Sorry guys, this takes a minute because of the way that Facebook works. I think this is our last group. Thank you Shirley Hall at Circle of Light. She always approves my posts into her group and I appreciate it. It's a lovely group over there. And so I think we are now ready to get started. Let's get it going. What do you say? So check out those videos, those unboxing videos. The unboxing videos I've explained to you guys is just there for those of you that want to tinker with the tarot or oracle decks. If you're interested in a certain deck, or there's stuff that you see there that you want to ask questions about, feel free to go ahead and comment in the comments section on YouTube, and I can answer those questions. Maybe there's a deck there that inspires you to go out and buy it for yourself, so that you can start to access your own information through utilizing a deck, or even doing readings for others, and helping them in that way. We all have intuitive abilities, and we all have skills, and decks definitely help us to learn how to build those abilities and trust them. And like I've said, working with different decks is like, from deck to deck, it can be like a different language depending on how much you trust your intuition as you read. Now, let's get to today's reading for the forecast. My name is Dan. This is Engelgeist. Thank you for attending the channel. I am your spiritual meteorologist, as it is what we say around here. So I'm going to do a forecast for the collective, for the group. Hey, Jen Nichols, how are you? I'm going to just pull a single card, see what the witches have to say to us. The deck we're working with this week is the Literary Witches Oracle, which was a gift from Jen Nichols off of my Amazon wish list. That's also available in the group. If you join the group, you can see the pinned post. It'll take you to the wish list. If you want to send me a deck that you're interested in seeing me work with, or seeing me unbox, that you want to know a little bit more about, I'm always appreciative of gifts. It's a way to not only give me support, but also you guys benefit because you get to see an unboxing. It creates content for the channel, and it gives us new opportunities to learn new information from different decks. And I think that we're learning different information from these literary witches, to be honest. They're definitely bringing us to a very interesting subject matter each time we pull a card, I feel like. I think that's why I'm enjoying it so much. It's kind of different than my go-to deck. All right, so let's do the 3 breaths that we do every morning, our breath work. This can be done throughout the day whenever you want to center. Let's breathe in deeply through the nose, deep into the belly, right? Deep, deep into the belly. Imagining plus signs going into the body and flooding the body wherever they need to go, right? And then as we exhale through the mouth, let's exhale all that breath out and imagine minus signs going out. This is the negative energy or outdated energy that belongs to other people that we don't need anymore. Just intend for that to be releasing through your out breath. For those of you that know about grounding, you can run a grounding cord from the base of your spine all the way down through the floor into the center of the planet, and allow intend for anything that does not belong to you, that is outdated, that does not work for you anymore. Just allow it to just gently and easily slide right down that grounding cord and be given back to the earth. The earth will know what to do with it. Mother Earth will process it, renew it, and set it free back out into the universe, right? And it can go back to wherever it belongs, because sometimes we do carry other people's energy and we don't need to. So as we're doing that, if I haven't given you enough, and I'm just saying this because Shaitan is new here, and there's a lot of stuff, maybe other new viewers here too, like Melissa Marie. Good morning, Melissa Marie. If that's not enough, as we take in the first breath, we're going to hold it for a moment, and when we release, I want us to bring our attention to our body first and say thank you to the body, and then to our mind second on the second breath, and say thank you to the mind, and then on the third breath to the spirit or the soul and say thank you to it, right? And give thanks and gratitude to the it. These are our soul. These are the 3 components that kind of comprise the Holy Trinity that is us, similar to the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost in the church. But it is what comprises our human experience. So we want to give thanks to that no matter what. So if you'll join me, please close your eyes, plant your feet firmly on the floor, and bring your attention to where you are right now in this present moment, wherever you may be seated or standing. And just let's take in that deep breath, imagining those plus signs, and go deep all the way into the belly if you can. And inhale. And hold. And exhale. Thanking the body for the beautiful vehicle that it is, no matter what shape it is, what size it is, what color it is your body, and it is a blessing. It carries you through this dimension. It has protected you and made your life possible. So be in gratitude for that. And let's take in a second breath. Hold. And release. Thanking the mind for the tool that it is. Even when it stumbles us up or worries us, it's teaching us at all times, it's learning at all times, it's processing information for us to also carry us through this journey at a mental level, at a higher vibrational mental level. So let's thank that higher vibrational mental level. And let's take in that third breath. Breathe in deep. Bring your attention to the center of your head if you can, and hold. And release. Letting go of any outdated energy, anything that doesn't serve us. And let's say thank you to our soul for all the work that it does, both in front of the curtain and behind the curtain of life that we're not aware of. Our soul is always with us. If you want to open your eyes, thank you. Welcome back. We are at Thursday, the 19th of September. September's just flying by. So let's ask Spirit for a card from the Literary Witches deck that we're working with this week. Spirit, please give us a card that best suits for the collective for this day, Thursday, September 19th, 2019. This is the end of Palindrome week, by the way. So we've got 91919. Or maybe it's not a palindrome anymore. I don't know. Is it still a palindrome? Well, it's 1919, 2019. So, I thought it was the end of palindrome week, but maybe I'm wrong about that. I'll have to double check that. But, Spirit, please give us a card for those of us that are not only watching live now, but those that will come in and watch this whenever they may in the future, both later today, into the week, into the month, into the year, into time immemorial. If this video lasts that long, give us that card. What do we need to know or be aware of? So the energy today with this deck feels very swift, very intellectual, if that makes any sense. It feels like our brains are going to be working. There might be inspired thought going for some of you today, some creative ideas flowing. It just feels very clean, crisp. The deck feels like it's coming together quickly. So the energy today, if we want it to, if we want to get caught up in it, can move very fast for some of us, or actually the majority of us. It feels like a very mental energy day, if that makes any sense. That's the sense that I'm getting as I'm shuffling these cards, is they want us to know that today would be a day of intellect, like those swords energies, if we were dealing with the traditional tarot. Feels like creative thought, decisive thought, getting things done in a swift manner. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Let's see who or what we've got for today. Guys, what is going on? All right, I'm going to explain with this deck. It's a 70 card oracle deck, which is meaty for an oracle deck. Most oracle decks range between like 30, my experience, or what I know about oracle decks, they usually range between 35 cards to 55 cards, sometimes a little bit more, give or take, sometimes even less. With this deck, it's a 70 card deck, right? And so to me, that's a meaty oracle deck. It sounds so kind of dirty. But anyways, it's a sizable oracle deck. And I love that there's these witches, the literary witches, which are these more more designed cards, right? that have these women that are literary witches, right? That have written books that are magic on some level, and it pays homage to them. So it's a very strong female empowering deck. But these literary witches, they, to me, they sort of signify as like as if this deck were to have a major arcana, these ladies would be the major arcana of this deck. So my interpretation, or the way that I use this deck, is I feel like when the witches come up, this is like, hey, pay attention. This is heavier energy. This is not heavy in a bad way, just headier. Like you can learn more. There's more at stake. There's more oomph to the message, right? Versus the other cards, just the symbol cards, okay? So I'm going to say that my interpretation is when we get a literary witch, it's kind of like a, hey, pay attention. And we've been getting them a lot this week. So these ladies are loving on us. Now I'm going to flip the camera and we're going to see who we got today. So let's welcome Miss Flannery O'Connor, and her word for the day is humanity. Now give me one moment. My pointer is across the room. I was using it to do some magic stuff, and I need it back. Okay, Miss Flannery, what do you have to say to us today? All right, so her word again is humanity. Okay, so before I read her instruction in the book, I like to sort of see what she's got going on in her picture, what it makes me think of. So Flannery, first off, it's funny that I felt like today's shuffle was very intellectual. I don't know what kind of a writer Flannery O'Connor is. We should look up these ladies. It would be interesting to know what their stories are. But I love that she has the glasses on, which makes me think of mental intelligence, which makes me think of that speed of thought. She looks a little bit, I don't want to call her nerdy per se, but she does look like she's highly intelligent, right? She looks like she would be a quick thinking woman. I love that she has the peacock here, which shows that like and she's sort of petting this peacock, which is like she's sort of like appreciating beauty in some way to me, or appreciating grandeur in some way, maybe pursuing grandeur for some of us. We might be having some of those grand ideas. Remember yesterday was Emily Bronte, right? And hers was fantasy, and I told you guys, live in the fantasy, live in the joy. To me today it feels like maybe we've tamed some of that fantasy or that beauty and we've brought it to ourselves. There's this interesting other thing going on in her hand here. It looks to me, I'm just going to pull it closer, it looks to me like a broken egg that's bleeding out. And it's an egg from that peacock. So I'm not exactly sure of her writings, right? Maybe there's significance with this peacock from her writings. But to me, I'm going to interpret this as us maybe taking some of those opportunities that we had to live in fantasy yesterday, to live in the idea of creation, of manifestation, of what feels good, what feels right. And we've maybe harnessed that and we've made it real. We've made it into this beautiful peacock. Now we've carried this egg in our hand, and I think that the egg is broken, but I don't necessarily know that that's a bad thing. I think that this could be determined in two different directions. I think that this broken egg could be that some of us could be worried that we could break our egg, or whatever it is our dream is that's coming from this idea of beauty that we're now petting, right? Or we could be actually having those ideas being birthed and being born. The egg is cracking open of its own free will. Not that we're breaking it. Her palm is open, so to me it could be that I don't have the chat window up to see what you guys are saying. Sorry, guys. That it could be for some of us that we are actually allowing these ideas to sort of come to their own birth, right? Or their own opening, their own realization. Okay, so I like that, and I love that she seems very intelligent to me. So we're going to be intelligent about going about our day today. We're going to be aware of the beauty of the day and the excitement of that, and the things that we can create, and how that they can come into life if we sort of give them the support they need by how she is supporting it with her hand. Now, the other thing I want to say is, Miss Flannery, this is the first. A lot of the cards I've said have been very grounded. Okay, because I've seen sort of these little piles of dirt at the bottom of the page. We don't necessarily have, at the bottom of each card, we don't have that with Flannery here today. And there's an interesting thing to me about that. And what that says to me, she also has no waist drawing, which it feels to me like we, it's not about grounding today as much as it's about being in our mental thought, about thinking clearly. I'm not saying go and get ungrounded. Staying grounded is a great idea at all times. But what I'm saying is if we find ourselves moving at a higher vibration, a less slow vibration, the beginning of the week, if you haven't watched the beginning of the week videos, we had that body card, which was the body. Yesterday was Emily Bronte, which was fantasy, which was sort of getting, even though she was still sort of grounded, we were grounding that fantasy. Now that we have the fantasy sort of in this peacock, in this egg here, they're becoming sort of like maybe coming to fruition, or the ideas are becoming real. It's about like using our like higher intellect or our higher mind, bringing the vibration up, maybe not necessarily keeping so grounded or so low vibration. We want to get more mental about this. This mountain here, or this mound here, shows us that we're still connected to the earth, but we don't necessarily have to be so connected in such a way that we can't allow ourselves to raise our vibration and think more so. This tree here, to me, looming over her, feels like there's growth to be had here. It also feels a bit protective in a way, like that she is protected or that our mind is protected. But I also feel like as we trust this, or as we trust our mind and our thoughts, we do have the opportunity for growth and for strength. This tree, to me, I don't see green leaves on it, so it's not necessarily so much about beauty as much as it's about a strong mind, about a growing mind, about protecting our thoughts and protecting our minds, maybe even from ourselves at times. Some of us who might be stuck in this idea of fear of breaking our own dreams or losing our own dreams. Those of us that are looking at it from that perspective might need this strengthening and this protection from our own selves, our own mind. But remember that we can utilize our mind as a tool for both for positive and negative manifestation. I think that Flannery here is teaching us that she can, and we can, use our fast thinking mind. She also, I feel like this is very much Gemini energy. I don't know why. I wonder if Flannery O'Connor was a Gemini. I would shit my pants if she was. But I feel like I'm getting this hit that it's very Gemini energy with this card. Excuse the bad language. The other thing I'm going to say about humanity, is her word being humanity, before I read her story, is that when we do this for ourselves, when we believe in our own opportunity of manifestation, when we live in that fantasy from yesterday, or we honor ourselves like we have been this week and what these literary witches have been teaching us to do, when we do that, we not only do that for ourselves, but we do that for all of humanity. We teach others how to sort of live in their own light and create for themselves their own happiness, their own highest good. So Flannery is here to teach us that we can not only do this for ourselves, but in doing this for ourselves, we open up a door where we allow humanity to find it within themselves, and we actually are like sort of like by raising our vibration and creating what's for our highest good, we actually can sort of raise the vibration of the rest of humanity in the process, just by focusing on ourselves. Okay? So let me get the book and we'll read about Flannery really quick, find out who she is. Can somebody look up whether or not she's a Gemini? Jamie, you're a Gemini? Okay, let me find Flannery really quick. I just feel Gemini energy coming off of this card. She feels very intelligent, and I love the glasses, like she's giving me this like bookish sort of feeling where she is thinking, how do I make this happen? How do I make this work? So, where is Flannery O'Connor? Excuse me, guys, I'm just looking through this book to find her. Miss Flannery. Okay, Flannery O'Connor, Humanity. Who we are, reckoning with failure and redemption. So this failure could be this egg here, Some of us might be focused on some of the things that have gone wrong in the past, but we need to stay like also pet this peacock in the sense of look at the beauty of the future too. Don't live so much in the past. We can use it as a lesson, but we can also look at the beauty of what happens. And you know what? This peacock will lay another egg where we can have another chance for those of you that maybe are feeling that you have made a mistake or that there's potential that you could harm whatever the dream is that you're holding in your hand. Okay, so she is who we are, reckoning with failure and redemption. Flannery O'Connor, who lived from 1925 to 1964, wrote cutting, hilarious, and secretly devoutly Catholic stories about the Deep South. Growing up in Georgia, O'Connor loved chickens and she knit coats for her fowls. For her fowl. After graduating from the Iowa, so she's got a sense of humor, and she is like a bit of a thinker. She's like knitting chicken sweaters. After graduating from Iowa Writers Workshop and hitting her stride in fiction, she contracted lupus and moved back in with her mother. She populated their farm with more than 40 peacocks. Okay, so that is where the peacock significance comes in. But I think that peacock represents, for a more broader term, for a more broader read, the beauty and the manifestation of some of the beautiful dreams that we have. And if you look at Flannery, that was maybe her beautiful dream of raising 40 peacocks. How like amazing that must have been for her. So I think that we can use her as an example today to think about what it is that we do for ourselves, how it is we believe in ourselves, how it is we hold ourselves in our space. Are we petting our peacock? Not to be any, like, all you dirty-minded women, like, just stop it. And are we are we focusing on the beauty, or are we focusing on the past and the mistakes of the past? Or are we allowing things to hatch, like in a more positive manner? Are we allowing things to be birthed into reality for ourselves? Okay, so that is our card for today. That is our forecast for today. Christina, you're a Gemini too? Her birthday is 3/25. That makes her an Aries. Her first name is Flannery. Let me hold it up closer to the thing. Flannery O'Connor. She's a writer from the Midwest. If her birthday was 3/25, I believe that makes her either an Aquarius or an Aries. Aries. Well, that's strong-headed, and fire energy would be very dynamic. Let's look at the bottom of the deck energy. I'm going to flip the camera back around just because we've been doing that too. And look who's at the bottom. We have Jamaica Kincaid. So another literary witch, guys. And hers is history. I'm not going to get too into her description, but, you know, it looks like Flannery's a bit about the history. With that broken egg, us revisiting our history. But Jamaica Kincaid is history, and she's talking a little bit about that in her card. So that's the bottom of the deck energy. And again, it is another literary witch. Now, the funny thing is, out of 70 cards, let me just see here. I'm just going to do a little math here. Give me one moment, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. So there's 30 witches, there are literary witches that show up in this deck out of 70. So it is maybe a 50-50 chance, close to 50-50 chance that we will get a witch. But I do think that these witches are, I have a feeling that because this deck is written around these witches, that they are extra special when they show up. And they are trying to point out to us that we need to pay attention. We need to look at the lesson and listen to the message and utilize it in our days today to help us carry us through our day. I hope that made sense to you, for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I just shut the wrong window in an attempt to open the chat box window. She's not no, she's not a Pisces. Pisces stops on... Wait. When is her actual birthday? Because Pisces stops on March 20th, guys. She's not a Pisces. So, because I'm a Pisces, I'm March 1st. So, yeah, I'm enjoying this deck too, Karen. There were 3 decks you found, 3 dates you found. It said that her birthday was 1925, I believe, did it not? So I would trust the one that's based in 1925 to 1964. She is an Aries. Okay. Well, that makes, sense. Thank you, Darlene. Darlene over on Facebook says, fully enjoyed it. Love how thorough you go over the card. I know that's our forecast. I do this every morning, so you can tune in, like the business page, follow it, and hit the bell so you get notified. I do one every day. And then we go back and we look. On Sundays, I do an underpinning energy. So on Sunday, we had the lantern, the cat, and we had Leslie Mormon Silka, which was community. So hopefully we are building a community here, but you can go back and watch those messages too, because they are on the YouTube channel. I'll put my links here. This Engelgeist link tree gives you the links to all of my Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram. My YouTube channel, follow me and subscribe there. Hit the bell there and you'll get notified every time I put up a video. I do charm readings in the evenings on Fridays and Saturdays. And there is, I'm also available for private readings. It doesn't necessarily have to be with this deck. It can be with any, I have all sorts of decks. And I do have my go-to deck that I use all the time. So that's what I primarily use. But you can get a charm reading privately. You can get a deck reading privately. And I've even mixed charms and cards for a special hybrid price, but that can be discussed if you message me at the business page. Beyond that, vote on the poll about the Witch's Oracle. Those of you that don't know about the Amazon wish list, join the Facebook group. The Amazon wish list is there. If there's something on that wish list that you see that you find interesting, you can certainly send it over. Shatana, I don't know if you're still watching, but there's a lot of love cards over there that I want, but you know me in Twin Flames, I'm kind of like a little bit iffy on that. But if I get enough of those love-oriented decks, I'm going to start doing Twin Flame pick-a-cards. We'll see. One other thing I wanted to do special for today, okay, is this is a bag of stones that I was going to add to the charm box, but they're too heavy. I'm afraid that they're going to break some of the charms that are in there. So today I felt inspired this morning to reach into this bag to pull out a stone for a word to meditate on for the day. So I'm going to do that now. The cat comes running because he hears the stones. He's like, what's that? What's that? But let's see what our word for the day is, for our forecast. Okay, here's our stone. So our stone is friends. Okay? And it's funny because the card was humanity. So it's definitely a focus on others today, it looks like. So the reason why I'm doing this, it's funny, but I feel like what Spirit has told me to do is to use this bag of stones every day as a thought or an idea to meditate on and ground into, hence why it is a stone. It has weight, it is heavy, it is to ground you into it. So as far as the idea of the card, it being about humanity, what we do for ourselves and how that manifests out into humanity and liberates others in humanity to maybe manifest better for themselves. If we ground ourselves like this stone and we weight ourselves in the idea of friendship, others, not necessarily taking care of others, but honoring them and loving them, as we do maybe ourselves, or even if we don't love ourselves, maybe we love others until we can love ourselves. Ground in that thought today, ground in that idea today, and allow that stone to sort of weight you down into the beauty of that, okay? So that's what this bag of stones has now become, okay? I'm gonna add the friends back into the bag, and tomorrow we'll do another one. Okay? And you guys can let me know what you think about the stones by commenting. Please hit the like button. I need those thumbs up, guys. Comment on every video. Share the videos. Subscribe to all of my social medias, please, as I build until you get annoyed with me, and then you can unfollow. You can still stay subscribed, but you can unfollow. And I appreciate you all for tuning in. Remember, for those of you that are struggling or having a hard time, have questions that need answering, you can always book a private reading with me, or you can seek out, there's plenty of other readers on YouTube and Facebook. I can even suggest ones that I follow or that I think are great. But it is all just energy. If you find the gratitude and become at peace for whatever the situation is with which you're dealing, you will find that the energy will shift around that situation, and you will feel more empowered and be able to move through it much more easily and with grace. So keep your vibration high if you can, but if you're if you're doing your best, then that's good enough. Try not to judge yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Love yourself as much as possible through any given situation. You deserve it. I love you guys. Have a great day, and enjoy the day. Okay, get out there and pet your peacocks, people. Say that 10 times fast. All right, I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.